You're listening to Mainstreet Unscripted with myself, Matthew Wallen, and my co-host, Holly Nash.
This is a podcast put on by Casa Grande Mainstreet, a local nonprofit organization here in Casa Grande, Arizona.
And let us begin. Well, welcome to another podcast, Holly. This is episode 3. Number 3 for us. Number 1 came out and did pretty well. Number 2 has been well received. And now we're on to our 3rd one. Can you believe that?
I feel like it was like 2 weeks ago because it probably was.
It was just 2 weeks ago that we did it, wasn't it? So this time it wasn't as much long, but we have a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah,
We've got a lot to cover.
Yeah, we do.
You've been sending me out, or before we get into this, do you want to go over any happenings or anything that's coming up in the next little bit here?
I mean, on Main Street's end, we don't have a whole lot, but there's always things going on downtown. Like Black Box has 3 weeks in a row of Shrek Jr. shows.
Shrek Jr.'s awesome.
Yeah, I love Shrek. They have shows on in May. They have shows almost every month, so definitely check them out. We have an open mic at the Heritage Hall with Yarhap. Casa Collective is always popping. There's something there literally all the time.
Yeah, they have activities like nightly.
Yeah,
it seems.
So just, I mean, as summer is coming up, I would encourage everyone to just don't do the normal. There's nothing to do. Like, hit up our website, hit up our social media. Like, if Main Street's not doing something, some of our members are definitely. So
sure.
Just
and to that end, if you're a venue that has events,
yeah,
anywhere
send them to us.
Yeah, send them to us. So we
know that the Edgar Allan Poe Speakeasy is at the Paramount again this year.
It's coming back.
It's May 1st and May 2nd. So that'll be cool.
Yeah. I know a few people that went to that last year.
Yeah.
And everyone said it was good. So not as good as Drunk Shakespeare, but good.
It's on my birthday, so I don't know if I'll be there or not.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, well, we've been talking a lot about, with Main Street in particular, we've been talking about how to modernize, how to make way for the next generation coming up as, I'm a Gen Xer, you're a millennial, right? That creates conflict in and of itself sometimes.
I'm right at the cusp of millennial and Gen Z. My
You
sister
are.
and I fight about this 24/7 because I'm like a Gen X at heart, you know?
Close. Yeah. And in many ways, I can see it. Yeah.
But like I act more millennial, but I'm right at the cusp. I'm not sure what I am.
And your buying habits and the things that you value.
That
and
I'm
what
a millennial.
That's definitively millennial.
Yeah.
For sure. I've got daughters and sons that are millennials. And you guys are hand in hand. Like the things that you guys are interested in, where you put your value, that type of stuff is very, very, very much aligned. And so we've been talking a lot about doing that, about modernizing that. And part of what we do, we don't just make unilateral decisions. We don't just come up with things off the top of our head all the time. A lot of times we look for resources for information and for inspiration. In the last episode, we talked about the Main Street approach, and we talked about what that is and a little bit about how we utilize that to work our events and to work our area and how we design and how we do everything in Main Street.
It was largely economic vitality.
It was economic vitality, but the Main Street approach is an all-encompassing kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
And so part of that was you had sent me just in the last couple of weeks, you'd sent me over a podcast for Main Street America. And Main Street America is a national organization of basically it's informational for Main Streets and other things of that nature. But elaborate on that for me, because I know you know more about it than I do. I just barely got tuned into it. So tell me what about it.
Yeah, so Main Street America is like the umbrella that Casa Grande Main Street falls under. Really, it's like a hub. Like it's a hub of resources. It's podcasts that I just recently found a couple months ago. It's grants, it's mentors, it's just a hub of resources and a network. You can connect with different people. You can definitely see what they're doing in other areas, things like that. But what I found was the Main Street Business Insights podcast. It's hosted by, his name is Matt Wagner. It's been for a couple years, and so I've been listening through them. But the one that caught my attention was his predictions for 2026.
Sure. And he did one last year too, right?
He did. He does them every year. And actually at the beginning of 2020, of this one, the 2026 predictions, he talked about his 2025 predictions and whether they were a win, a loss, like a middle ground. And so he kind of goes over it each year too. So it's kind of cool, like that he keeps up with it.
I didn't hear that part of it. Like I didn't get to see that piece.
Yeah,
so
you gotta start at the beginning.
Of what he said, how much of it came through?
I don't think that there was too many that were off. The ones, I believe there was 2 or 3 that were off, but it was that he wasn't so far-fetched. They just, like, they were a little too ahead of their time.
Gotcha. So the predictions were still in play. They just hadn't happened yet.
Yeah, correct. And so I think some of those fed into the 2026 ones. And so when I heard them, since Main Street has Space 108, like obviously I look for business insights on that end of it. But then as Economic Vitality, I also try to make our Main Street a resource for some small businesses. And so I like to listen to it and keep up with it and then send that information out in like a compressed, easy to swallow way to where you don't have to listen to a 45-minute long podcast.
Well, and you also are honing the message to our area because not everything that applies to like Carmel, California applies to Casa Grande, Arizona.
Correct. Yeah. So, I mean, we can just jump into it. The first one actually has to do with the economy, which, you know, shocker. But talks about the K-shaped economy and how there's going to be big impacts from the K-shaped economy. For anyone who doesn't know, the K-shaped is your higher earners are going to continue to earn high, and your middle and low are going to continue to go low. So that's where you get your K look. But because of that, both sides of it are going to value a good deal, and you want to offer a good value because
it's not necessarily just a price point.
Correct.
It's they want to put.
They want it to be worth it.
Right.
So I mean, like I put that in my terms, right? Like I think I told you, like there's some things I'll look at and be like, $40, heck no, but will I go spend $100 on 12 different plants? Absolutely. Because they make me happy. But things like that, but the K-shaped economy is going to push consumers to seek a good value. Now, in your area, you're going to figure out what that value is, whether it is bang for your buck, if it's maybe a little bit more expensive, but it's better quality. I think each business is just going to have to figure out what exactly that value is. So, I mean, like on your end with what you do, like what with
bikes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were even talking about bikes. I actually bought some bikes that I'm calling my millennial merchandising because, well, first of all, like we here at the shop, we're all a bunch of guys. My wife, she contributes to the overall like look and feel of things, and she gives her information and her bit for it. But you know, trying to purchase items for a generation that you don't fully understand sometimes can be difficult. So, like obviously, I've hit up a lot of millennial folk and came up with kind of this.
I can concur.
Yeah. So Holly was one of those people that I hit up. So, and I purchased a few bikes, not a lot, just a handful, just to kind of experiment around and see if I've got it figured out. And I think that a lot of people, you had talked about what was valuable to you. And so obviously you yourself, you don't ride bikes, but you said that if it was cute and it had some character to it and it wasn't too terribly expensive in the sub, $500 mark, then it would be something that you would look at if it had the right look and feel to it. So I curated a few different bikes with some colors and some accessories that collaborate with it or coordinate with it rather. And like it's when I get it all in and get it all together, I will display the bikes and the products all in one fell thing, like as one offering. So rather than just giving just the bicycle itself and then say, oh, by the way, over here we've got these helmets that match. And over here you have these locks and these baskets and these things. Instead, we're going to put it all together as one value package, so to speak.
Nice.
And I think that'll hit all the points that you and I had talked about, and even go over some of the points that were in the predictions.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that'll be in probably 2 and 3, or 3 and 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll go on to number 2 then. The shifts in social media. So Matt Wagner's prediction was that there'll be big shifts in social media, but we've already seen, Meta has lost a lawsuit. So that's huge.
Yeah.
And that's in America. We also see stuff in Europe. We've seen things in Australia. So there's all kinds of like big shifts in social media right now. So
you know what the biggest problem with social media is trust.
Oh, 1,000%. Everyone's lying.
Yeah. No, it's all
no, not everyone.
No,
but.
It's all bullshit. Nobody believes any of it, right? So when you see something come on, it's like, oh yeah, here's,
Tell me that my life's not perfect, but yours is.
right, exactly.
Tell me why I need to paint my house a different color.
It is all curated garbage.
Yeah.
And
but like the shifts in it, it's going to push consumers in very different directions, right? So, I mean, we already see people kind of pulling away and doing like unplugging and doing things like that. So I think this is twofold. You're going to see your marketing is going to have to change. So everyone's been putting money behind social media, get influencers, do this. I think that the marketing is going to shift. I think it's going to go a little bit back to more like wholesome, like word of mouth.
Which has always been the strongest.
I mean, in Casa Grande, that is the strongest.
Sure.
But I also think that it's going to it'll push your consumers to want like that in-person connection was kind of like the big takeaway from that prediction. That social media is there. Yes, it was great. But I think like after COVID, like and all of it, like I think people really are wanting that connection. And now with the decrease in social media, I think people are wanting it even more.
Yeah.
So it's really going to push like the connections. And with that, there was the prediction that people are going to want shopping experiences.
Right.
I don't know how you make a shopping experience, but on my end, like I like Amazon as much as the next person. However, I just went and walked around Marshall's for 30 minutes today. Like I didn't need any. I mean, Marshall's told me what I needed,
Right.
But because like I like to go touch things, I want to smell them, I want to feel them. So I think that people are going to start getting back into like the senses.
More tactile.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
For me, it's always kind of been that way.
I mean, you can't,
with my industry,
Yeah.
but we have seen a shift. There's certain things that have gone to the internet and internet purchasing, and they're kind of always going to be that because there's nothing to experience. It is what it is. It's a widget, and that widget's always a widget. It doesn't change whether you touch it, feel it, rub up against it. It doesn't matter. For the experience, and I also want to go back and touch on the connections portion of it too. With the connections piece, for me and our community, I really make an effort to get to know my customers, and I really make an effort to see what it is that they're interested in, how they vibe, what they connect with. And we try to keep the obvious things out: religion, politics, and that type of stuff.
I think with small businesses in general, that's one of the perks, right?
For sure.
You can come in and talk to the owner. Like when you're downtown, that's one of the biggest perks that I always tell people is the bookstore. Perfect example. You can go in and you're going to leave and you're going to feel like Tina's your grandma.
Yeah.
Like, and it's the perk of going to the small businesses.
Or sister. Sorry, Tina.
I love her. Yeah. But like she has grandma vibes. Like she just wants to love you.
Well, but this is what the trend, when I listen to it, that's what they said that people are gravitating to. And I'm seeing that in my own business, and people want to connect with the business in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. They want to feel passionate about it. They want to feel like they're supporting something that's more than just some other non-faced corporate entity. They want to identify with that. And all of our shops in Main Street, we talked about this last episode, everything that we have down there, it's all mom and pop. Mm-hmm. It's all privately owned. There is no chain stuff, with the exception of just the grocery store.
Yeah.
And everything down there is... the owner is the operator, and they're the person that's passionate about it, knows about it, and is working it.
Well, and I think that there's room just for anyone listening to apply this in our community. Like, I think there's definitely room, like, to market that. Like,
for sure.
I think that like, the story is what is important. Like you said, that connection. So
people
like,
want to know who you are.
Change your if you need to change your marketing, and you're going to anyway, shift from social media, like put that in there. Like, hey.
Well, your social media, I think, is still important, but it's about telling the story of who you are.
Yes. Yeah.
Not necessarily telling about what you sell or what you do.
Yes.
It's about telling about what you're into and in a little slice of your life, if you will.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big slice of their life to run a business. So
For
like
sure.
they're opening it up, I think it's a great opportunity for that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, and then the shopping experiences, that's going to be, anyone's just got to come up with something that is, think about your business and think about how can I make this an experience for somebody to have. One of the examples that was given was a perfumer, mm-hmm. and how they create like this make your own perfume thing. And it was a really cool concept, really cool idea. And I've seen it with other things too, like jewelry makers, where they have people come in and they set their own jewelry and kind of pick it out. And it's real basic stuff, or even beaded together stuff. I know we've done it with some of the companies and some of the shops that are down there, like
Rose Love comes to mind. She has a build your own bouquet. You can walk in there at any point and you can make your own bouquet and leave, and it's like under $20.
Yeah. And she guides you, helps you.
Yeah, like
all
it's
that.
cute.
Yeah. So that's the type of thing. If you can come up with something that is an experience and you can help people to use social media to help people connect with you, not just the stuff you sell.
Yeah.
And that'll go a long way in your social media and in your overall business presence.
Yeah. So that leads into number 3, which is an increased opportunities. You talked about the perfume and the desire for more manufacturing. So the prediction was that there would be opportunities for Main Street manufacturers. And I think that that's just logical, thinking about where we are economically.
So for somebody that's not in with the lingo, because I actually had not heard it in this term, I understood it, but explain a little bit about what's manufacturing. Because when we think manufacturing, I think
steel, cars.
No, like it's just how you make it, right? That show.
It's making something from scratch, more or less. So it's not just like, it's not resale, and it is retail, but it's a different side of it. So you talked about the perfume, that was the example. So you would go into the shop, it's somewhere in California, and you smell all these things and you create your own perfume. But on top of that, like, she also is making perfumes and scents that go out to individual businesses that order theirs. So it's not just a storefront. It is, you can go do that, but like the hub of it was she's making all of these. Yeah. So like, think about it, a brewery. That's more or less a type of manufacturing,
For
right?
sure.
You're making beer, a chocolate production. Chocolatier, yeah. That would be manufacturing. So just making these things in main streets. And I think that prediction, just logically, again, you think about where we are in the world right now, think about importing and exporting. So I definitely see that there would be a push for an increase in small business manufacturing.
Well, and that ties into what we've talked about in the previous points, in the previous predictions, is that what better way to have an experience than to have somebody come in and watch you or
what comes to mind is like Krispy Kreme, right? When you used to be able to stand there and watch them
Hot
come
fresh
out.
Now.
Yeah, but like imagine that with like a local chocolatier, watching the chocolate be made.
Sure. Well,
so cool.
Who hasn't gone to Disneyland and watched the candy makers make candy in Main Street, right? It's obviously, and that Main Street's supposed to be Main Street USA. So you have a demonstration right there of where that's an advantage. And then people identify too when they see the person making it and they see the person behind it.
How many people are more inclined to buy something when they know it's locally made?
Yeah.
Like, it might be a little bit more expensive, but they're willing to pay it.
Oh, for sure.
Because I know where it's made. And that's your livelihood. Like, I'm not paying for someone that I've never met's livelihood.
Well, and they feel good about it, spending that, because they're not just supporting the business, they're supporting,
your community.
Yes. The Betty that they have, you have kids in dance class together, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
You see these people in the community, you see us business owners in the community.
Correct.
And you connect.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, and that's something I would love to see in Casa Grande in general, is just, we definitely have manufacturing on a large scale. But I would love to see some small business manufacturing. Like, I think that'd be super cool. And we have plenty of people who make stuff at home. I just don't know that anyone's quite ready to get a storefront with it. But I mean, maybe
we do have
maybe it's time. Yeah.
Yeah. We have a way for you.
Yeah.
If you desire to do that, we have some things in place.
After the podcast.
That's right. Reach out. Well, that takes us right into like kind of the people that value manufacturing and value these first 3 points, and that's the millennials and Gen Z.
What's
right?
really funny about this one was, like, I had told Matt that he really needed to focus on millennials and Gen Zs, and he was like, "Are you sure?" We had a whole conversation about it, and then a week later I sent him this, and I was like, it wasn't just me.
No, see, this isn't fair. In context, right? We were talking about who is the current buying power and who right now is actually buying products and actually making things happen. And right now, it's definitively on Square X's shoulder or Gen X's shoulders, right? But obviously, millennials are starting to come into their own. They're starting to they're starting to adult. My argument was most of these kids live in their parents' houses still. And so the majority of kids in their 20s, they're still living with their folks. And that's just the way
that means
the
they have more
economy is.
money to spend.
Yes, they do. And they're spending money. And so
And they're spending money on experiences and on the things they like. They're not boring yet. They're not spending it on like bills.
Well, I still question this prediction because it doesn't just say that they're going to be spending more money. It says that they're going to take the lead.
So
on spending
the
trends.
prediction is that younger generations gain importance. When I listened to that, though, it definitely specified millennials and Gen Zs taking the lead on spending trends. And I mean, again, to me, though, that makes sense. Like, I'm a millennial.
Mm-hmm.
I have a career. My husband's a millennial, has a career. We have a house. We have our kids. Like, we are starting to spend. We're not just having to save to make it through. Like, we have extra money. But it's like we don't spend it in big ways. We spend it in, like, happy, small ways.
Sure.
And I see that a lot, like people with kids, especially, like you want something to do, right? But like you can't go to Disneyland every weekend, unfortunately. But like you find ways to do it. So I mean, you start spending it in little ways, but then Gen Z, I think for me, what made it make sense was TikTok and the Reels. And even though there's going to be a shift in social media, I don't see TikTok going away. I don't see Reels going away. And so somebody coming up and being like, look at what I just bought from this mom and pop shop, and it's something super cute handmade, like there's such a trend for that already.
Yes.
I see it increasing as Gen Z gets more money to spend on these things. Like,
yeah, for sure.
And then
I agree with that.
They push it out everywhere. So I mean, it makes sense in my world.
Well, it kind of coordinates with the other predictions.
Yeah.
Right? Without the other predictions, this kind of doesn't even come into play.
Yeah.
So as the millennials and Gen Z start, like you said, start adulting more, and they start living their lives, and they start, having children, buying houses, doing all the stuff.
Like the hobbies are going to, like what people spend money on hobby-wise is going to be so different versus what it was. Like my hobby is buying plants and keeping them alive. Sure. I don't know how to explain that better because I don't garden. But I love houseplants.
Yeah, it's all houseplants.
I love houseplants.
It's not gardened.
No. Yeah. I mean, I have some of those too, and they're thriving. But but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's like, how do you? But that's such a big thing right now.
So, what should our Mainstreet members? What should our Mainstreet members be doing to focus on that?
Talk to your millennials. Talk to your Gen Zs. Figure out what it is that they do want, and figure out how you can. Meet in the middle or make something work. I mean,
don't be dismissive.
Don't be dismissive of it. Don't be like, oh, you're young, you don't know. Like, they have money.
Sure.
And they're gonna keep having money.
It will continue to grow. It's not something that they're gonna go away. That's for sure.
And I'm not saying they should dictate your entire business plan, but if there's a way that you can make it work with them, the one that actually comes to mind is, it's called the Bookish Store, and it's in downtown Gilbert, and it's a coffee shop and a bookstore, and it's the cutest thing. Mm-hmm. And it sounds so simple, but like, it's amazing. Like, you just go order your coffee, and there's all these local authors in there, and it's like this comfy, cozy place that like they encourage you to stay all day long, pick a book up and read it, and drink coffee, or sit there at the bar and work while you drink coffee. Like, they encourage like the connection of it. But why are they doing that? It's because, like, how many millennials and Gen Zs work from home? Yeah, true. Like, and we all love books. So they found a way to pull us in. And then it's like, well, I was here all day. Like, let me go buy a book. Yeah. Like, well, and then on top of that, it gives you opportunities to connect. Yeah. You don't get water cooler talk when you work from home. Correct. And now maybe you get a little of that, right? And some socialization, place to get lunch. Yeah. It's a great idea. Yeah. So, we can go right along. So, the fifth one was kind of on that same realm. It's new options for finance and ownership, but that really focused on the fact that younger generations are coming into power financially and business ownership. But with that, there's going to be an increase in like opportunities for business ownership and business structure. And I think this falls onto something that I've been kind of hinting at for a long time, which is like co-ops and co-ownerships and different ownership structures. So, Space 108, that's exactly what it is. They don't own the building, right? But co-ops are huge. Like, hey guys, it's because everyone's coming into money. We don't quite have it yet. Yeah. but they also understand the value of like finding ways to work together to make that happen, to make that business happen.
Well, we're already seeing that in our area a lot.
Yeah.
We've got as far as 4 different cooperatives
just in downtown. So you have Space 108. You have the shop, which is Meats and Sweets and Eat Sugar Rush. Plus, I don't even know what other vendors. There's so many.
Yeah.
Arizona Native Lotions and Soaps.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rose Love has vendors in with her as well.
Yeah.
So there's 4.
Wasn't Feed Right doing some too? Or is that...
They might. I know that Eco Nomad had been in there, but she actually moved out into her own space.
Gotcha. So, I mean, it's already happening. We're already seeing this trend actually come true.
Yeah.
Before...
no
prediction needed.
I'm really hoping that, like, it actually goes further, though. That, like, people actually figure out a way to, like co-finance things, you know? I don't know.
Sure. It would be nice to see something depart from the standard business structure. Things that are happening right now. And to be honest, a lot of it's not approachable for a lot of small businesses. People that want to be in the downtown area, it's not something that's easy to do. The rents are not cheap. There's nothing down there that's...
I think it'll happen out of necessity.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So where does that take us then with the next thing?
The next one is actually kind of pushes towards that again. So the prediction was that e-commerce moves to brick and mortar with an emphasis on the direct-to-consumer items, which I don't see. Like, I get it. People want that experience. You want to touch it. You want to see it. You want to feel it.
For sure.
And again, my kind of take on it was that e-commerce will move back to brick and mortars, specifically direct-to-consumer businesses, where people are like using it. The prediction was like as showrooms. And I think that it's because you want to be able to see it. You want to be able to smell it. You want that experience. I think that, again, with logically where we're at with all of the, the economy where it's at and inflation, anything, having to send it, unless it's Amazon where it's overnight, but people are pushing away from that now for the local stuff. So I think that being able to go in and see what you want and be able to interact with it, make sure it's actually what you want. I don't think e-commerce is going to go away. I think that it will be an ordering structure, but I don't know that shopping online will continue to be like the main what it is, as people are wanting the experiences with shopping.
Right. We're seeing a trend where you have to have multi-channel. So what will happen is somebody will see something online, but they want to come in and see it in person. So they want to make sure that you have it. And so they may find it online, then they check to see if you carry it. And then if you carry it, then they'll come in and then they'll buy it. Now, what's important is that there's consistency in the product from each channel that product is represented. So if you have it and it's not, the picture that you have is not of the product that you have on your floor, or somebody says, well, we have these items, but they're all kind of the same. It's not. It has to be, it goes back to that trust issue.
I think that where this is going to hit a lot of small businesses is a lot of them, 1, don't have websites, but 2, they're not current. And I think that having a current website is very important.
I agree,
Hey, Matt, that picture is still great. Don't even worry. I'm still that young and happy,
You are. You are.
No, but I mean, having it to where I think that's huge. Like, somebody can look up and see what they have. I mean, let's just go with the most basic one that reaches in my mind, right? So there was a whole fight about dog food between my sisters last Sunday. It's fine, it worked out. But there's specific dog food was needed. And so, like, one sister was, like, Googling who carries it. It was Easter, so PetSmart closed early. But then they had to call, Walmart didn't have it, had to call Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply had it, but closed at 7. So then one sister had to go get it. And so, but, like, she went physically there to pick it up.
Right.
But she had to be able to Google to see who carried it.
Sure.
So I think that things like that, and I'm not saying you have to have, like, your whole store online, but just like a general, here's what we have to offer kind of thing. Like, I know with Main Street, we have our Square store online. It's like we have our shirts on there. It's not as current as I would like it to be. So this advice definitely goes to me.
I think we were just talking about this last week.
I know. But like, we try to have an online presence, so then people can come in and feel the State 48 shirts, make sure that it's what they want. They see it, it looks cool. But let's be honest, like, you don't want to go buy a real thin, flimsy shirt. You want to make sure it's a good shirt.
Yeah, good quality.
Yeah.
For sure. So, yeah, I think that the e-commerce thing, you're right. It's not going to go away. And we're going to see that continue. But they're going to want to see, touch, feel, all that stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I think it goes back to shopping being an experience.
It is. So now this next one I thought was actually kind of interesting because some people that I know that are millennials are not representative of this.
It's me. Definitely me.
In her baby. The one that goes to bars all the time.
I mean, you got to network where you got to network.
You do.
So this prediction was that there will be a change in food and beverage with an emphasis on alcohol consumption. Now, I will say I've seen huge trends of people not drinking.
Right.
I've seen it, mocktail nights, things like that. But apparently, like 54% of adults now are not consuming alcohol, which is very high. And so the prediction is that less alcohol consumption among your millennials and Gen Zs, because that's typically who's doing it, right? Because that's like the go get healthy, be wholesome, focus on your mental health and your physical health. Like those are typically the people doing it.
Sure.
I'm all about mental and physical health, but mama likes a margarita. All right. I need it for my mental health. But with less alcohol consumption among these groups, it's going to have a push for socializing that doesn't focus on alcohol consumption. So, I mean, that sounds scary, right? That sounds scary to all the bars that just opened. But I want to say, like with Pour Therapy, they have mocktails listed.
Yeah.
So, like, I already see it. When I was in California, when I was pregnant, obviously I wasn't drinking, and they had mocktails listed. So I think that some areas are just going to have to get on board and offer those. I think that the more people who offer that, I don't think you're going to be impacted as much.
Well, a lot of the ingredients for quote unquote a mocktail, they're already there. They already have them. It's just they're leaving out the most expensive ingredient, which is the alcohol.
Yeah. Financial. There you go. Save money. Don't drink alcohol.
There it is.
No. But I think that the bigger push, though, was the events, and not even just events, but socializing, not focusing on alcohol. So it is a really good opportunity for people, coffee shops, focus on like a socialization with coffee or with, things of that nature. Like the things that people used to say, no, I'm not going to that because there's no alcohol. Like those might be really trendy now.
Yeah.
I mean, it means have something though. I don't think that it means have nothing. I don't think it's just have water and soda. I think that it means be creative.
Yeah.
But I definitely see like, at least our downtown, like I think this will really benefit us because we only have 2 to 3 places that actually serve alcohol.
Right.
So I think being able to create events that have mocktails or coffee or
aren't even necessarily centered around drinking, just activities that get people together.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, there's no
a good time.
alcohol, but like, here's this Arizona sunrise, not tequila sunrise, Arizona sunrise. Like, oh, cool, like sounds dope. So I think it will be okay. But that's where I think like there's a big opportunity for businesses is like, you don't need a liquor license. You don't need to think about that. Mm-hmm. I think you need to think about the health part of it. Like, why is this great? Why is it a good socialization for you? Things like that. And if you can answer those, I don't think that alcohol is important.
Right. I had read a statistic about just restaurants in general, and restaurants that were not offering non-alcoholic options were actually leaving, like, it was a large number, something like 20% of their total drink revenue. They were leaving it on the table. They weren't collecting what they should be collecting simply because they weren't making those offerings. So it's something that's becoming more and more important as more and more people become less dependent on self-medicating.
Those people are strong. Good for them. So then that does lead us into the last one, which is circular retail expands beyond apparel. That was something I had never heard before, so I actually had to do a little bit of research with it. Circular, it's what it sounds like, but still. Circular,
Elaborate.
Circular retail is... It doesn't, I mean, quick fashion, that's what it, like, let's use that. Quick fashion is you buy it, it's not trendy anymore, you throw it away. So then circular retail was you buy it, it's no longer trendy, you go donate it. Somebody finds it at a thrift shop, loves it, buys it. And then the cycle keeps going so that you're not just being wasteful. So the prediction was that the retail sector will take on the closed loop system, emphasizing consumers' values of sustainability. So that the closed loop is where it just keeps going, right?
Sure.
And so I think the sustainability is big. And I think I talked with you about this, right? So like millennials and Gen Zs, we don't like clutter.
Yeah.
Gen Z is starting to go more towards like make your house cute and what makes you happy. And if that's clutter, do it. But like it has to be meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I spoke with you about it where it was like, yo, my kid has a balance bike.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it because she doesn't need it,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to throw it away.
Right.
It's like, what do I do with it? And I think that that's something that so many people are coming into is like, we have all these things that we don't want to just throw away. Like we want them to go be used. And so we want to donate them back in some capacity, but like we need new things now. But like, yeah, we might buy some new, but if people had like used things to offer, so like thrifting is so popular because of that.
Sure.
So I think that there's a really big opportunity. So what comes to mind with me is the bookstore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tina, she's great.
Right.
You can give her all of your books and she'll usually give you an in-store credit and you can get some books. Or she has, because it is a local bookstore, like the books are very affordable.
Right.
And so you can go buy some books. You can go take them back, like keep what you want, don't keep what you want, whatever. It's kind of like a little library.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like that's huge. Book swaps are a really big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that there's definitely just a spot for anyone who can do that to really emphasize on it. And then part of the social media and like the connections is like putting that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are helping keep the cycle closed.
Right.
Like we're not putting all of this into the trash.
We're seeing this not just from millennials and like earlier, like younger generations. I'm seeing this trend coming in from even like boomers and older, like people in their 80s. They just don't want to throw it away. It's still going to be useful to someone. And so, but they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And so businesses that can capitalize on the what to do with it.
I think that's huge. I mean, that's where I'm at, right? Like I have I'll just have things and I'm like, I'm going to throw it away because I can't have clutter, but like I don't want to. Like somebody take it.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We're seeing it, and it's super low to get into. And we've all been, I don't know if you want to say indoctrinated or educated or
consumerism,
whatever. Well, just about, we go back to the sustainability thing. What's good for the earth? What's good for like, what's wasteful? What's not wasteful? There's nothing that is more wasteful than buying stuff and just throwing it away.
Yeah.
And we don't want to just hold on to it either.
You know what comes to mind? Do you remember in the street fair, the lady that was across from you? She used the bike tires.
Yeah. Oh, she made the bike. It was bags and stuff from bike inner tubes.
Sorry, that's like a very like extravagant thought about it, but like
sure. Well, the bike industry's been doing this for years. I mean, we take old bikes and we fix them up, repurpose them, make them into different things all the time. So this whole notion is not something new to me at all.
Well, it's because you're retail.
Well, and I'm retail, but we do a lot of repairs, and like I encourage people to repair. So somebody comes in, they've got like an old 1980s mountain bike, right? But they're not mountain biking anymore, and they'll ask me, "Is this a good bike?" And I'll tell them it's a great bike for what you want to do, and if not, trade up, get something bigger, better, whatever. But trade this one in because somebody will find this useful and want to use that. It'll be impactful for them.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Like, I'm intrigued to see because it said that like retail. That it'll expand beyond apparel. So I am intrigued to see how much further it goes.
Well, this is a thing that we've seen before. So, and it kind of ebbs and flows.
That's true.
I've seen it where people like were trying to trade in. There was a place in California. I don't remember the name of it, but it recycled baby stuff. And basically, you took all of your baby stuff.
That's awesome. I just give mine away.
Well, and,
like,
no,
take my swing, please.
You got a credit, right? And then you could buy, and it led into like children's clothes. And so when you brought in, X amount of items, you got a certain amount of credit for it. So almost like how like a used record store works, but with baby items. And there were certain rules and conditions. There's certain things they just wouldn't take in, right? But for sanitary reasons and whatnot. But it was there for a while, and then it went away. And I think that right now we're in this trend where everybody wants this closed loop. I don't know how long that's going to last.
It's definitely a trend.
But then I think some industries and some retailers are going to experience more of this than others.
Yeah.
So clothing's one for sure. Because like my wife, that's her jam. Thrift stores.
Yeah.
That's where she goes. It's like, that's a day out for us.
My husband was like, hey, you cannot go to Cream of the Crop anymore. It was bad. It was like daily. I was coming back with new stuff.
So, well, she has a lot of stuff though. She curates a ton of cute stuff.
Yeah.
So, well, that's fantastic. So this list is the current predictions for 2026.
Yeah.
And so take with it what you want. I will put the link for this, the podcast and everything else into the show notes. So if you're listening to this and you want to go back and you want to hear it for yourself and kind of educate and learn what we've learned and make that a part of your own marketing approach, your own business approach, and how you're going to make the downtown area better, please do. But beyond that, I think that's all we have for this time, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that was pretty quick today.
Well, that's the goal. We're trying to. One of the things that people say is they want to slim it down just a little bit, right? So,
fair enough.
We're trying to shorten this up and make it a little more streamlined and more efficient for you, because a lot of people don't have a full hour to talk or to listen to us blabber on. But
I also, for any businesses that do use this, I would love to hear how you implement it.
For sure.
Like, I would really love to know, one, how many of these sound reasonable to you, but also like what you're going to do or how you're going to change to meet them, or what you have done and if it's worked or not. I would really like to know that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool to get the feedback. And again, we're a community.
Yeah.
The downtown area specifically, we've talked a lot about the need to be unified as a community and to be more involved together rather than separate people with separate agendas, which when you analyze it, all of our goals are the same.
Yeah.
We all want the same thing. So yeah, tell us how you're implementing this. Tell us how you're using it.
It might help somebody else.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, if you need more information about Casa Grande Main Street, visit our website, or you can listen to this podcast now anywhere that you like to listen to your podcast. We are now syndicated across every major podcast network. And other than that, thank you for tuning in to this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one.